What is up, guys? This is Zypha here. Welcome back, or welcome to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to be looking at all of the recent leaks slash teasers that we've been getting for the upcoming chapter 31. Honestly, I'm so excited, you guys. The teasers we'll be looking at are from all the way back. Some of them stem back as far as like 8 or 9 days ago up until present day. So we've got quite a bit to go over in this video, but I just want to say this new killer looks fucking horrifying. Like, I don't even know what to expect. I don't really know what this killer will be, but it looks really creepy. But yeah, we're gonna get into it without further ado. Now, technically, it is kind of clickbaity saying leaks because they aren't really leaked screenshots or videos. They are actually published by Dead by Daylight, whether it be on Instagram story or through Twitter. So anyways, first off, we have this text that was posted to Dead by Daylight's Instagram story reading, "I was on garbage duty. One of the boys usually offered to take care of it, but I was closing the diner alone with my friend Ashley. The cook had left an hour ago, and this was one of the last tasks we needed to take care of before we could head home. I'm going to grab a smoke and ask Tyler to pick me up," Ashley said. "I'll be back in a second to finish mopping. It's fine, I'll do it when I'm done with the garbage. It will only take a minute." She smiled and walked out through the back door. "I wasn't trying to be nice, I just wanted to leave as soon as possible. The diner was at the edge of the town and surrounded by forest. I dreaded staying around after dark. I always felt watching eyes whenever I walked to my car. I slung the bags over my shoulders and headed toward the back door. The dumpster was behind the diner next to a picnic table where some of the staff sometimes took their break. I was surprised to see Ashley wasn't there, but she sometimes paced around the diner when she was on a call. I tossed the sticky garbage bags and wiped my hands with disgust. I hated garbage duty. I was about to head back inside when I noticed something glowing at my feet. Ashley's phone. I looked around nervously. Ashley wasn't known for pranks. I picked it up and took my own phone from my back pocket. I wasn't sure what to do or who to call." We then have the second slide, which continues, "I didn't have to. A voice called out from the darkness." Ashley's voice. "Ashley, this isn't funny," I said. "I stepped into the forest. I didn't know how she had managed to navigate the trail in the dark. I had to turn on the flashlight to be able to see 2 feet in front of me. I let her voice guide me, but I still couldn't make out what she was saying. She sounded distant, distorted. I wanted to go home. I insisted, 'Please, can we get back to the diner now?' She either didn't hear me or pretended not to. I could tell I was close when I caught a glimpse of blonde hair in the distance. 'Hello, Tyler,' she said, her voice hoarse and strained. 'Is Tyler with you?' I asked, pointing the light ahead. I could see 2 figures, one of them shorter, leaned against the trunk of a tree while the other, taller, stood a little to the side. The first one must have been Ashley, but the second one looked wrong, twisted. The torso and the legs seemed to be facing different directions, as if they could have walked towards me without ever taking their eyes off Ashley. 'I have your phone,' I added. 'Hello, Tyler,' she said again, but I could now see her lips never moved. Something didn't feel right. And then we finally have the third slide. 'It's me,' she started. 'Can you pick me up?' she tried, hesitant. 'Me up? Question mark. Pick me up. Tyler, it's me. Hello." I caught a glimpse of something in the light. It looked like teeth, too many to count. A phone rang, not mine, but Ashley's. Tyler was calling. The tall figure shifted, and then it spoke. Its disembodied voice sounded almost exactly like my own. "Home?" it said. "But please." I ran without looking back, branches tearing at my skin, slicing my arms and cheeks. I reached the diner and threw myself inside, locking the back door behind me. I waited for a thump, a crash against the door, but it never came. I stood there for a while, still clutching Ashley's phone, and before gathering enough courage to sprint to my car. It's 3 in the morning and I don't know what to do. Tyler keeps calling Ashley's phone, but I don't know what I would tell him. I want to believe this is a cruel prank, but I can still hear it now, floating softly through my window. A voice, haunting and familiar, so close to my own. "Please," it begs. "I want to go home." Yeah, so just from reading that, it really sounds like almost Skinwalker-esque, like it's copying, or I guess rather mimicking, people's voices or appearance. As it described there, it was mimicking Ashley's voice, but it didn't look right, and the lips weren't in sync, and it wasn't like speaking properly, and the way that it moved and acted and spoke was very off. So I'm definitely getting the vibe here that this is going to be some kind of Skinwalker killer, which is the general kind of consensus that's been going around now. People seem to think this new killer will be a Skinwalker. There has been other people throwing around theories that it could be like a Wendigo or literally a bunch of different things. Some people even thought it would be Slender Man, which I think think is quite crazy because that would mean another license in a row. And I don't feel like they were going to drop another license, if I'm honest with you guys. I honestly think that it was time for them to do another original. And plus, I don't know if they'd be able to get the rights to Slender Man at this point, and would it be worth it? Because, I mean, Slender is pretty dead now. I don't feel like a lot of people talk about it anymore. It's pretty much the same reason the 2018 film flopped as well, even though mainly that film was just comically bad. But the point is, I don't feel like adding Slender now would get the same traction as it would, say, back 10 years ago. Yeah, I don't think it's Slender Man, obviously. I mean, I already have enough leaks here throughout this video that you guys will be seeing. It looks to me like this is going to be a Skinwalker type killer. Definitely sounds humanoid. I don't know if it'll be alien because we have had the actual alien chapter, so I feel like having another alien killer would be a little bit overkill, but I mean, I honestly think it'll be humanoid. But anyways, we're gonna move on to the next screenshot. This came out the following day, I believe, and it says Green Peaks Road Neighbors, which is like an email, and the profile picture and name have been completely blacked out. It says, "Hey neighbors, did anyone see or hear anything strange in the area last night? I got woken up around 2:30 a.m. today by what sounded like someone rummaging around in my backyard. So I opened the porch lights to see what it was, but I couldn't see anything at all. I got dressed and walked out onto my deck to get a closer look, but all I could make out was this weird buzzing noise and what I thought was maybe whispering. As you know, our house was one of those that got egged a few months ago by some kids from Greenville High, so immediately I thought this was another one of their dumb pranks. I pulled out my phone to record and started walking towards the noise, hoping I'd catch them red-handed, but I found nothing. I couldn't tell where the sounds were coming from, so I went back inside. I obviously can't sleep now, so I'm listening to what I recorded, see attached, and I have to say I'm really creeped out. Does this sound familiar to anyone?" And then it says below all recordings, and when we check out the next screenshot, it reads 412 Green Peaks Road, and I don't know why that was particularly screenshotted. It's a bit random that they put a screenshot of that in particular, but I'm gonna guess that Green Peaks Road is the location where this whole thing is taking place, and maybe if we are getting a new map, it might be called Green Peaks Road, or it might just be called Green Peaks. Honestly, a new map would be very cool, so I'm very interested to see what this would be like, if it would be wooded, or if it would be like a street next to a woods. I don't know, but it sounds interesting. And then it also has this attached here, which has 4 recordings from on the voice memos app. I'm just gonna play those all in a row for you guys, and let me know what you think. Yeah, so I personally don't know what is going on in those recordings. It sounds like whatever it is whispering, or it's like making this kind of noise, but intermittently you've got these like kind of glitchy sounds. I couldn't make out what any of that was. In the final recording, I believe you can hear like a fence rattle, so I'm assuming that's whatever it was leaving, and that's what that was. It was hopping the fence. But for the rest of it, I honestly don't know what it was saying, but it was fucking creepy, I'll give you that. Like, that voice is just a thing of nightmares, and honestly, I'm just very hyped to see what the voice lines will be like when this killer drops. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about those clips. If you can make out what it's saying, then let me know in the comments. I don't know, guys, I'm kind of at a loss there with that. Next, we have some more screenshots, like text messages, and these got put on the Dead by Daylight Instagram story once again, and I think this was the following day after the other leaks. It starts by saying pizza tonight, and then the person responding says sounds good, and then they put I'll pick it up on my way home. They put thank you, love heart, love you. They put love you too, everything okay at home? Yeah, just cleaning, what's up? Got a notification from the security system, saw something weird on the feed, can you check the back door? Weird, what did it look like? Then the next screenshot shows them say just a blur in front of the camera, it's too close to tell what it is. They put raccoons maybe. The other person put maybe, but it had to be pretty tall, cameras at eye level, which just gives you a good idea of how how tall this thing is. I mean, if it's at eye level, then it's definitely humanoid. They responded, just checked, nothing there, door is locked too. They put, okay, thank you, we'll keep an eye on the little rascals. And they responded, we should start leaving the garbage in the garage. This then continues by them saying, yeah, you're right. And they say, working late? Yes, sorry, should have text, almost done, everything okay? They responded, the neighbor's dog won't stop barking. And then they put, again, third night in a row. And then the other person said to them, I don't know what to do. I rang the neighbors, no one's home. The dog stopped barking, but he's whining now. They then continue by saying on the next slide, it sounds wrong. So basically this dog's whining doesn't sound right. It's clearly mimicked. It's not like a natural dog sound is what I'm going to assume. They responded with, I'll be there soon, wrapping up. And then they put back, I hope he's okay. Love you. They put, love you too. Hey, something's in the backyard again. It's too dark to see what it is. They put, that was probably me stepping out 5 minutes ago. I thought I heard the neighbors, wanted to check on the dog. They put, maybe stay inside. And then they continued on the next slide to say, until I get there, I can go talk to them after. They put, okay, it wasn't them anyway. Love you. So it wasn't the neighbors and it wasn't their dog. So yeah, eerie as fuck. But yeah, anyway, they then responded by saying, love you too, pepperoni, question mark. I'll just grab 2 different ones. We'll have leftovers. Got the pizzas. Almost there. Lisa, where did you go? So whoever it was that they were messaging, clearly this thing must have got them because they just vanished and it seems that they stopped responding to the text. That's kind of where it leaves off with that leak. So they then dropped another kind of leak / teaser, I think the following day after that. So they've been kind of doing them each day, I'm assuming, or this could have been 2 days later, I don't know. But it's another email screenshot saying important about Ryan. Hello, Miss Allen. I'm Ryan's roommate, Danny. I think we briefly saw each other during orientation week. Ryan mentioned where you worked a while back and I found your email address on the company's website. I think something is wrong with Ryan. It started today. Ryan was excited to try a new trail on his daily run and said he'd meet me in the dining hall for breakfast after. He never showed up. I found him in our room after my first class of the day. He was scribbling at his desk. He was still there when I came back. Hours later, sitting in the dark, still scribbling. He snapped out of a trance when I called his name and said he'd lost track of time. He seemed normal over dinner, but when I asked about his day, he said he'd been busy studying. He then continued this email in a separate screenshot saying, when we got back to our room, he left to take a shower and I got curious. I wanted to know what he was working on, so I waited until he was in the shower and looked at his desk. You'll find a picture attached to this email, but there were dozens of them. Under his bed, crammed between the mattress and the slats, hidden behind the blinds, littering the floor in his closet. I even found a single piece of paper under my pillow. I pretended like nothing happened, but shortly after we went to bed, I heard it again. The scratching of a pencil against paper. He'd started scribbling again. He's spiraling, and I don't think I can handle this on my own. I reached out to our resident assistant, but they can't do anything until something happens. I don't want to wait for that. Could you come and check on him, Danny? So they then attached the photo of what this guy was drawing, and I've heard a lot of people say a lot of different things about what this could be. And honestly, the speculation that I heard from Schmuckles, he said that this looked to be like some kind of cocoon, which to me makes the most sense. If this was some kind of humanoid, almost insect-like killer, I don't think it will be insect-like at this point, but going off of the basis that this would have been an insect killer a few days ago before we got the other teasers that I'm going to show you guys later in the video, this made the most sense to me. I couldn't really understand what else this would be, to be honest. And honestly, if a cocoon was actually a thing in this chapter, how I would see it is it would be implemented as some kind of secondary hooking mechanism, a bit like the Cage of Atonement for Pyramid Head, but I don't feel like this is anymore because we've realized that this is more close to a skinwalker than an insect. So I don't know what this is supposed to be. I've heard some people say it looked like a twisted like torso or some kind of body part, but I mean that doesn't look like it to me. I have no idea what that is, but if you guys have any ideas, let me know in the comments. But then the following day, I believe, going in a bit of a pattern here, as you can see, we got some more leaks dropped on the Dead by Daylight Instagram story, and it says movie crew. So I'm not sure who the movie crew are. That had a lot of people thinking this was going to be licensed because of the Instagram name. I don't think it is, but anyways, on an Instagram DM, they said, guys, I just found something really disturbing on Sean's phone and I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out. He went camping with his friends this weekend. I went to pick him up this morning, but after an hour of waiting around, he still wasn't there. I kept texting and calling him and he wasn't answering, so So eventually I got fed up and just started walking up the trail to try and find him. I didn't find him, but I found his phone and a flashlight by the path. This other person responded, WTF? They put, I was freaked out. Clearly this person is trembling because their texting is completely all over the place. I'm sorry, I'm shaking so much right now. Typing is rough. I'm guessing that was gonna say. They put, are you okay? Please just run to your car. I can leave work. I'll come get you. This then continues with them saying, I went to check his phone to see if I could find info there about where he might be or what might have happened. When I unlocked it, the camera roll was open. What do I do? They put, are you in your car? Go right now. Lock the doors. I'll be there in 5. I'm on my way. And then on the 4th slide, they attached this person's camera roll, and it seems to be mostly just very normal pictures of this guy's life. And then kind of the last 2, the last 3, there's actually a campfire, which implies that this guy went camping. And then we have 2 images, which one of them actually got attached on another slide, and it shows what looks to be like fingers gripping the side of the camera view. So whatever it is, it's very pale. It has quite long nails, and this further strengthens the idea that this will be some kind of skinwalker. A lot of people also were saying that this looked like it would be the Rake, because obviously the Rake is this very skinny white creepy pasta who actually lives in a woods. So a lot of people thought this was going to be the Rake. I did for a little while as well, but that's all for that. And then on the next slide, they randomly attached this other thing, which is showing some info underneath that picture, and the location once again reads Greenville. And I don't know if Greenville is just the town or the village, or if possibly it's given that name because of the forest nearby, but it seems that wherever this is located, it seems to be in the middle of kind of forested area, because there's a lot of dark green on there, as you can see. And this will make sense later on with one of the other teasers they dropped, where this guy's in a tent in the woods, and I believe that's who this might be. So moving on, we then got this teaser, which came out only about 2 or 3 days ago, and it shows what looks to be a door cam angle of something in the corner view moving towards the door, and I can't make out what it is. It looks almost insect-like, or its back legs seem to be like raised higher than the rest of it. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of giving us a bit of a, an angle on this person's door cam and what they've been sort of seeing or hearing show up to their back door or get into their backyard. And finally, we have reached the most recent teaser, which got dropped on Instagram too, but Dead by Daylight dropped it on Twitter, and they also put it on YouTube with the following caption: this video is presented as found. It has not been edited. And this one is by far the scariest thing I've seen in a while. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, when I first saw this clip on Twitter, the chills I got watching it, it's so ominous. And I'm just gonna play that for you guys now.
I'm not sure if you can hear it, but there's something pacing around my tent.
So yeah, there was a lot of glitching in that once again. Now, there was actually a screenshot which came out kind of, I think it was one of the first things that dropped before any of these leaks, and it had PTB on the 20th, so that's actually only in like 3 days from when I'm recording this. So yeah, so it's going to be coming out very soon, but that PTB text was stylized in this kind of glitchy format, which is why a lot of people probably thought it was going to be Slender Man. But how I think it will be is this is some kind of skinwalker type creature. I know this thing like impersonates voices and stuff, like you could hear in that clip where it starts asking the guy in the tent to help it. And I know it could just be picking up on lines of dialogue that it's heard other people say, and it just kind of spits them out randomly. But to me, when I first saw this leak, it seems to me that this thing doesn't actually want help at all, and it's saying it to try and get closer to the person by using lines of speech or tones of voice, you know, that would seem kind of sad or innocent, but really its true motives, it seems, underneath all that is just to attack and kill anything in its line of sight. But it uses this as some kind of luring mechanism to try and manipulate people. That thing's creeping around outside the tent, unzips it on its own accord, and the voice is just, it's so chilling. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think about all of these teasers slash leaks. I'd be very interested to hear your thoughts. That last one really got to me. I really hope that this chapter is going to be very good. And just by looking at it, just from all the build-ups we've been getting over the days since over a week ago, just these constant little drips of information to kind of get us all hyped up. I really love that. And I don't think I've ever seen Dead by Daylight do this before, at least not personally. I started playing in December 2021, and I believe some people were saying that they did like a rollout kind of thing with the artist, but they haven't done something like this in a long time, basically. And I really appreciate that they have been giving us bits of info over the days to kind of get people speculating. I think that's really cool, and I hope they proceed to do that going forward. Unfortunately, I can't cover the PTB. I'm not on PC, so when the chapter does drop, let me know what you guys think. I'll probably put out like a poll or something asking those of you on PC, you know, like what you think about it and whatnot, but obviously this won't be dropping properly until like March, I believe. So yeah, really looking forward to this. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the like button down below to let me know. It would greatly help the video out in the algorithm. Also, if you haven't done so already, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you never miss a single video of mine. I am trying to reach 500 subs, so if you can help me get there, that would be absolutely awesome. And yeah, that will do it for today's video, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and I shall catch you all very soon with a new video. Goodbye.